Welcome to the Referrals Podcast, the show designed to help everyone from the solopreneur to the Fortune 500 company win the referral game. If you want to build a company with an army of ambassadors and raving fans who speak highly of you and refer you willingly, you are in the right place. And now, here is your host, Michael J. Maher.
Hey, Jen. This is Sherry Maher, producer of Referrals Podcast, and I just wanted to do a quick little intro here for our episode that we have today. I am actually taking you way back to some of the very first episodes that Michael ever recorded to talk about two very important rituals. One is called Sweet, and the second one is called Dreams. And he's going to go over these two nightly rituals and why you should be doing them. So enjoy.
And this episode, we're going into Sunday night.
Yeah.
Fun night. Sunday night, fun night. So what do we do Sunday night, Michael? Walk me through.
Yeah. So, you know, what we've discovered and this has been kind of a accumulation of habits over 20 years and learning from the best of the best. We've discovered that really your morning starts the night before, right? And we've all discovered that, right? You go to bed at 2 a.m., then you've got to get up at 7 a.m. and all of a sudden you're dreary eyed and it just stinks, right?
Yeah.
So it's one of those where a great morning starts with a great night's sleep, which in our opinion starts with a great ritual, right? And so what we're going to talk about the next two episodes are Sweet and Dreams. And Sweet Dreams are acronyms for the Sunday night ritual and the nightly ritual. And when you do these, you will have more sweet dreams. You will have sweeter dreams. But more importantly, when you're awake, you're going to achieve your dreams. You're going to be able to realize your dreams. And so that's kind of the segue into the very first ritual that I developed. And that was the Sunday night ritual. Yeah. And there is something called decision fatigue. The more decisions you make, the more likely you are to make a bad decision.
Yeah.
One of the reasons that my father always said, nothing good happens after midnight, Michael, was not just that it's dark, right? It's late, you know, but it's because people are making poorer decisions the later in the day, right? So they're drinking more than they would. They're driving faster than they would. They're running stoplights that they wouldn't, right? They're making worse decisions. You don't want to be around when people are making bad decisions. You want to be around when people are making good decisions. So, so to prevent decision fatigue, what really intelligent people do, not, you know, I didn't do it until I discovered what really intelligent people do, is they do what's called pre-decision, right? They decide before they get into the situation, right? So this pre-decision is we're going to make all these decisions when we're comfortable and when we're not stressed and we're not rushed. And so hence the Sunday night ritual. So at about 7 to 8 p.m., my entire family, actually mostly me and Sherry, but Max does participate in this with a piece that I'll show you in a little bit. But so it's Sweet. So the Sunday night ritual is the acronym Sweet. The first thing that we're going to look at is our schedule, right? Straight from teaching, right? Straight from, honestly, any good mom, any good dad. Yeah. You know, you watch a single mom or a single dad work. Now, here's the thing. Married mom, married dad, super, right? Yep. But you watch a single mom or single dad work, they are amazing at organization, right? They probably don't give themselves enough credit because they're like, oh, I forgot this, or I forgot the shorts for his football or whatever. But it's like, you watch them work, it's super, super organized. And guess what they're doing on Sunday night? They're looking at the schedule. Yeah, where I found that to be so powerful is it gave me a chance to visualize the best outcome of each of those meetings. It allowed me also to really look where the openings were and look where I was not maximizing my time. So it was great to take a helicopter instead of being knee deep in it, digging nose at the grindstone. I could take a 10,000 foot look over the schedule and make some decisions, make some suggestions. Like there was one time I had a networking stack on a Thursday. It was 11:30 to 1, 1 to 2. And then I had a 2 to 3 that was open. And then I had 3 to 4. Well, interestingly enough, my 1 to 2 was with a developer. And I called a guy named Jeff and said, hey, Jeff, can you meet at 2 o'clock? Well, Jeff's a builder, right? So it's interesting. I just did this on a Sunday night, literally just emailed him and he said he could make 2 o'clock. Well, it just so happened that the 11:31 was fantastic with an ambassador, got to talk to the developer a little bit. The developer was like, this is great. You know, I like what I'm hearing, but they had several other agents who they thought would be better. In fact, they even thought about hiring their own sales crew. And then 2 o'clock comes around and it's this builder guy I know, and he's talking to the developer. And so, you know, he's all about Michael Maher and how great I am at selling new homes. And he goes, if you choose Michael, I'll buy 12 lots in your subdivision.
Awesome.
Well, bam!
Wham!
Like win for the Sunday night ritual, right? And then 3 o'clock, like I had, and who was a client. It's so funny how these things work. Is that person who met Jeff the builder, they met him for 2 minutes, but here's how the universe works. That client or that friend became a client. Chris, I'm not kidding, bought in that subdivision that the developer was developing. Guess who built their house?
Wow, the builder.
Jeff.
That's awesome.
Jeff was the one they actually, now listen, I didn't force them into building with Jeff, right? Jeff builds phenomenal homes, but it just so happened that it was like, you know, so it's, you know, how about, okay, so what happens here, right? 11:30 to 1, you know how you create your own opportunities in the universe, right? 11:30 to 1, raving fan, talk to the developer, he leaves, right? He leaves and I'm there for an hour drinking tea or waiting for my 3 o'clock to get there, right? And I wait for my 3 o'clock. I have a good meeting. I have to tell you, that friend would have become a client no matter what, right? Probably, maybe would have bought in that subdivision no matter what, right? But was there some magic in the air that made Jeff the builder? They felt comfortable with Jeff the builder because they met him, right? So he got a client, I got a client, the developer got a client, and I got 59 listings. Right?
And this too can happen for you listening. If you just do your sweet Sunday night ritual, this too is exactly what will happen every week, every time, every stack.
Isn't it great? We can't promise. Hey, here's something that could happen. You look at your schedule and then none of it happens. So that could also happen. That could also happen. Which has happened to me, right? Very rarely does that happen, but sometimes it does happen.
So
on schedule.
On the Sunday night ritual. So what are you looking for when you look at your schedule of the week? Are you just getting a present to the calendar, or are you actually looking for something?
Yeah. So I am looking. I can't do a week on my phone. I can do a month, or I can do today, which is fine. But all I'm just going through my schedule. I'm just Monday, Tuesday, and there were certain days when it made a lot of sense to wear shorts and a Maher team shirt, right? Polo, right? There were other days it's like, ooh, you know what? I've got a series of appointments. I'm going to go with, my black pants, black shirt, and a sport coat, right? So it just, and the other thing too is when you're dressed really nicely and you've got some time blocked off, let's say you got white space between 11 and noon. Well, you can find something to do because you're dressed nicely. Right. Whereas on the days that you're going to be in shorts and a polo, maybe you visit those people who don't care what you look like. Right. Or whatever, I happen to like polos with logos. I'm just throwing it out there. So what I'm looking for are spaces. I'm looking just like what makes sense. There's occasional where it's like, well, I've got a meeting on Tuesday with this person and I've got a meeting like at the same place on Friday with this person. I wonder if my Tuesday will move to Friday. Right. That just or let's say I did a lot of my buyer's consultations in the evening. And it's like, all right, Tuesday is open. Wednesday, I've got a buyer's consultation. Thursday, I've got a buyer's consultation. So I need to find somebody for Tuesday. I need to find a buyer for Tuesday night, because I didn't like open listing appointments or buyer consultations. And I did a lot of listing appointments either at lunch or on the weekends.
Got it.
So Saturdays. I didn't work a lot on Sunday, but I did a lot on Saturdays.
I love it.
Saturday was my money making day. So I just look at that, right?
Yeah.
The other thing too is looking at your Saturdays, and it's like Saturday is already full. That's not good, right? So I wonder if these buyers would go look during lunch. And what I've discovered is that if you ask a buyer to go look at a couple of homes during lunch, they will go and look at a couple of homes during lunch.
Yeah.
So if they're serious.
Got it.
So
that takes us through the
schedule, but that's just schedule.
Yeah,
we haven't even got into the other stuff, right? So So the W is for weather, right? So I'm going to look at the weather, and this is something I've kind of done for 3 or 4 years. I kind of did it occasionally, and then I made it a regular part of my schedule. Especially started looking where this became. It was great in the beginning when I was in Kansas City, but when it really became important was when I was traveling during the week. And for 3 years, I traveled every week. So I would look at the weather of where I'm going, right? You don't want to be wearing like super dark suits in Phoenix, Arizona in July. Yeah. That would affect your, like what you're going to wear, right? It would affect a lot of things. Trust me.
Yeah.
So I'm going to look at the weather, and here's what's it's just like, life is better because of the Sunday night ritual. Life is better. Life is happier. So another quick example about looking at the weather and the benefit I got from it is that, please don't judge me. We were on vacation in the Bahamas, actually in Aruba, not in the Bahamas. So in Aruba, and so we were at a resort, and the resort has activities, and then it has adventures that you can go on, right? So there's fishing, there's sea-doo, right? So, jet skis. There is, and then there's some like inside events that are really cool, and so on and so forth. So what's amazing about this is that, so they had the fishing tour at 4 o'clock every afternoon. They had jet skis like at 2 o'clock every afternoon, and so so I blocked off what we were gonna do, and Chris, tons of white space, right? It's vacation. Right. So most of it was unplanned, but there were these things that weren't going to move for us. So let's make some decisions on them. Yeah. So the jet ski day, I noticed that it said that the weather, it's going to rain in the afternoon. You can either do jet skis at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, or you can do it at 11 o'clock in the morning. So guess what I picked?
Yeah. Morning. Come on.
11 o'clock in the morning. So this is how life's better. So we are wheeling and dealing on the jet. I mean, phenomenal. Max is behind me, right? And he's never been on a jet ski, and he's, 8 years old. He's like, this is awesome, right? Yeah. Okay. So he thought it was awesome already. Then we saw a couple sharks, right? That was awesome, right? Now we're on a sea-doo, so it's pretty safe. And then we saw some dolphins, and we saw some manatees, or these big things. Yeah. So it was like, and the guide was going, you know what? We usually drive around and jet ski all the time, never see anything, right? We never see any animals, but there's a front coming in, and they're feeding, right? So they're active, they're out and about, and so on and so forth. And one other cool thing is, well, anyway, all right. So we drove around. So I will tell you the one thing is we stop in the middle of this bay area, and it's like, what are we doing? Right? There's like 8 of us. Right. And so the guide all of a sudden jumps off his jet ski and dives into the water. No. Right? And it's like, that's kind of odd behavior. And he was odd anyway, just throwing that out there. And so he was gone, like underwater. Your guy. And I'm thinking I'm going like 30 seconds is a long time to wait. Like minute. What is he doing? I'm like, did he die? Is it right? So we're all pulling up closer, and literally it's like 90 seconds. It's probably a minute, but it felt like a long time. He comes up, he's got an enormous starfish, live, huge, real.
Wow.
Just starfish, humongous. And he goes, come here. And we come over and we all get to touch the starfish, and Max gets to touch the starfish. And it's like the little suctions, right?
Yeah,
so Max is like, oh my God, he's like laughing, pulling it away. And so it's this phenomenal time, Chris.
Wow.
And so we get back, we have lunch, and there's some sprinkles that start about 1 o'clock, and then it's pouring rain at about 2 o'clock. We're watching at 2 o'clock. The people walk down to the jet skis who had signed up for the 2 o'clock time. And I just looked at my wife and I just go, yeah, right. She hates it when I do that.
Yeah.
And it happens so rarely that you would think it wouldn't bother her at all.
Yeah. You gotta celebrate those moments.
Yeah. So the rest of it, right? Yeah. So then, so we decided not to fish that afternoon because we were already jet skiing, and we thought, you know what, we'll do this inside stuff. We'll play games. And then Max did a dance contest that night, and for future reference, he won the resort dance contest. He was 8 years old. He had moves like Jagger, and he looked like Jackson, right? So he was working it. And then so it rained quite a bit on Wednesday, actually. And then Thursday comes along, and it's the most beautiful day ever. 4 o'clock, we go fishing, right? And we reel in a barracuda, right? Big giant fish. Yeah. Max is thrilled. I'm satisfied. We paid for this. This is awesome, right? Yeah. But the guy's like, well, we got another hour. Let's see what happens, right? Chris, we pull in a 4-foot king mackerel.
What?
Right? So the biggest fish I've ever caught up to that point. Wow. And so that was so it was awesome and beautiful the whole day. We both got great suntans and sun, took some pictures with our stuff on, but it was beautiful. And then Friday morning it rained, right? So we really had like 4 or 5 pockets of sunshine, and we took full advantage of them, right? And I believe it was because we looked at the weather and made our plans according to the weather, right? Yeah. And guess what? Most people don't do that on vacation. They're very reactive, which is okay, right? But I believe our vacation was not a little bit better, not even 10 times better. I think it was 100 times better because of a little bit of planning, right?
Yep. So good.
So then we get into the E, right? So the first thing is the exercise plan, right? So you look at your week and you look at exercise. So for me right now, Max practices on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and then he has games on Saturday for football. So I know that I'm going to walk for at least 55 minutes Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday because I walk when he's practicing, right? I suck at standing there and watching and being a dad. I've got to be moving. So I've got my, okay, so what does that mean? All right, so I'm going to wear shorts. I'm going to wear a T-shirt. I need to make sure I take my Halo earbuds, right? Yep. And I need to make sure my phone is charged. And I may buy a new song, right? Just for that week, just to have a little bit of variety to the walk.
Yep.
And I need to make sure my shoe, I did it on Monday. It was really muddy. So my shoes were dirty. So I washed them, for Tuesday. Right. So I need to wash it. So it took some time to do that.
Yeah.
So the exercise plan, what you do then is you're looking at, okay, I may have to pack a duffel bag on Monday, right? Go to work. And then I know I'm going to be walking, right? Tuesday, same thing. Wednesday, no exercise scheduled in Wednesday. So, I'm not going to worry about the duffel bag or whatever. But the nice thing is I could pack all 3 outfits in the same duffel bag and be good for the week, right?
Yep.
So you look at your exercise plan. The other thing too is if somebody's a serious bodybuilder or freak or whatever it may be, they're going twice a day or they're doing this already. They're probably already planning out their chest day, their back day. And when I was really serious into bodybuilding and lifting during college and right after, I would be writing down my weights in my journal, my weightlifting journal, which is around the corner here.
Nice.
But so I would know, like, I'm doing 185 for 10. I'm doing 225 for 10. I'm doing 235 for 10. And then I'm going to do my pyramid, which will be 8, 8, 6, 6, 6, or it'll be 5, 5, 3, 3, 3, 1, 1, or whatever it may be for that week. And I would have the weights there. So guess what? Am I trying to figure it out at the gym?
Right.
No, I'm there,
Yep.
I don't have to think. I can just lift. And so, it's just look at it Sunday night, and you make sure you're not overtraining. And you make sure that you're dressed appropriate. You got, if you're doing deadlift, you might need your straps, right? So you have your straps. So that's the exercise plan. And make sure you have exercise planned in your week. If the suite forces you to think about exercise, and even if you don't do it, then that's a good start, right?
Yeah.
If it forces you to take your tennis shoes out of the closet, wipe the dust off of them, and put them by the front door, then we win, right? That's a win for you, right? Good start. The next E is something that has become more valuable to me as I've gotten older and become more health conscious, is the eating plan, right? The next one is E. I'm going to look at what I eat for the week. Right now I'm in the middle of a keto diet, right?
Yeah.
So very strict diet. And I've already lost almost 10 pounds, right? And by the way, that's 5 days.
Wow.
Right.
Nice. Yeah.
So it's like every meal is planned, it's like what's beautiful about it is there's variety within it, but it's fairly constrictive. There's no bad. Now this is my language, not the keto diet language. Yeah. I believe that the keto diet is no bads, which is no bread or pasta, no alcohol, no dairy, and no sugar, right? So take the bads out of your life and you'll have more good. All right. That's another acronym that they didn't have to pay for right there.
Nice. Fire. I love it.
Yeah. Thanks. I'm on fire. So fire is an acronym, but I'll talk about that one later.
Okay.
Yeah. Then the T, right?
Yeah,
and the T is tie it all together, right? So tie it all together. So what I mean by that is take action on your schedule, which is lay your outfits out, right? And sometimes when I'm doing pictures, and they can see this within some of the groups I'm in, is like my son's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday outfits are all laid out with the appropriate shoes, right? In my closet right now, you're going to see Saturday and Sunday in the closet. Yeah. And then here's the thing is you wake up, you go through your morning ritual. You don't even have to think about what you're wearing. It's right there. You throw and it's appropriate for the day, right?
Yeah.
What you don't want to do is be throwing on, shorts and a polo and then realize that you're meeting with a potential client for $1 million, subdivision or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
So, or going to a networking event, right? I have to tell you, we had to fire an agent who decided to show up at a networking event in, shorts and a polo, and it was totally not appropriate. He was the only one in shorts in the entire place. And guess what? I mean, if he had the Sunday night ritual, he would have kept the job, probably made hundreds of thousands a year for us. So, so the tie it all together is all right. So with your schedule, you're going to match your outfits to the schedule. Right. With the weather, you're going to match your outfits to the weather. Right. And if there's rain in the forecast, just make sure the umbrella is in your car.
Yep. Some
people have the umbrella in the car all the time, but if you're not that person, then make sure it's there. And then the exercise plan, right? Just make sure you've got your clothes in a duffel bag or they're ready. And then with the eating plan, for me, if you looked in my refrigerator right now, it would have these Tupperware, turkey burger with broccoli, turkey burger with green bean, right? And meal prep, right? Mm-hmm. So all the meals are prepped and we're ready to go. And you might think, well, that's boring or whatever. No, there's still the variety. I mean, crap happens during a week. Sure. Variety happens during a week, right? I mean, it's like, if you're doing a networking stack, you're going to be eating out on Thursday, right? So variety is going to happen. And you might think, oh my gosh, this is OCD or too. It takes us at this point 15 to 30 minutes to do our Sunday night ritual because we're so used to it. We've done it for so long.
Right.
And it's just like, look at the schedule, look at the weather, look at the exercise plan, which is in many cases the same.
Yeah.
And look at the eating for the week. And the nice thing about looking at the eating for the week is that whoever buys the groceries can
right.
plan accordingly. Right. And they even have recipe machines on the internet where it's like, hey, we're thinking about I have to tell you,
nice.
We had stuffed green peppers on, what day was that? Tuesday night for dinner, like stuffed green peppers, but they were totally keto diet safe that Sherry had made. And they were phenomenal. Talk about variety. They were spicy, they were good, they were tasty, and stuffed green pepper, So it was one of those where, if maybe we didn't have the Sunday night ritual, she couldn't have been as adventurous with the meal, right? She wouldn't have had the ingredients, right? It takes a lot to do the stuffed green pepper. Well, I guess you could stuff a green pepper with anything, but there were ingredients she wanted to make sure that were in there. Right. So anyway, so that's the sweet. So schedule, weather, exercise plan, eating plan, and then tie it all together by taking action and get your outfits lined up, get your meals lined up. And guess what? You don't have to make all those decisions during the week. You look good. You're eating good. You're dressed, appropriate for whatever it is. And you're going to rock the week.
The biggest thing I hear in this is, I think for a lot of people, there's what they're surrounded with as they go out into their week is uncertainty, right? Just uncertainty. And they don't even know what they're uncertain about, but there's just this feeling, this sense. And I think what I love about the Sunday night ritual is you're heading into your week with all this planning to create certainty. And when you show up with certainty, like just who you are is different, who you're being is different in all your interactions. And I love this for that reason.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, certainty is very powerful, right?
Yeah.
There are people who are great salesmen who sell crappy stuff, but they speak from a sense of certainty.
Yep.
Right. And there are great products that are sold poorly or sell poorly because the salesperson does not speak with certainty.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So clarity is power.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
So where does that power come from? It comes from the certainty. It comes from faith, right? There's a big difference between hope and faith. I do believe they are both good, solid emotions, hope and faith. They're both good beliefs. I believe that we need hope, but where heaven and earth will move is faith, right? What's the difference between hope and faith, right? I mean,
certainty.
What do you think?
Certainty.
It is. It's confidence in taking the next step.
Yeah.
Hope waits. Faith acts. And you know what gets rewarded in our world? It is not waiting. It is acting.
So good. I love that. Well, what a great way to wrap up this episode. I know that you guys there's another download for everybody at referralspodcast.com for this episode.
They're going to love this. Yeah, it's beautiful.
It's an infographic of Sweet, right?
That's right. So it's a beautiful picture that also explains the SWEET acronym and the Sunday night ritual. Yep. It's something that, and a lot of these things we talk about from a business perspective, but the SWEET infographic is something for you, but it's also something to share with your entire family. And this whole 4 podcast segment that we're focusing on now is really about FLY, which is first love yourself. Right? First, love yourself. Even if your kids, even if your spouse does not want to do the Sunday night ritual, do it. Do it for yourself. Do it for yourself. Right? Yeah. And FLY. Right? First, love yourself. All of this fits under love with the 7L system. Right? 7L system is about love, generosity, and appreciation.
Right.
So this is all under love, and then it's FLY is the first thing we need to really cover, and that is first love yourself. And then you've got these rituals that are self rituals that lead to success, which is SWEET. Yeah. Schedule, weather, eating, exercise plan, eating plan, and tie it all together.
That is sweet. That is sweet. I love it. That is
started with a SWEET, ended with a SWEET.
Yes, that's sweet. And if you guys want to get the SWEET infographic, go to referralspodcast.com. I love that you guys are posting those up for everybody. In the next episode, we're actually going to go into the nightly ritual. So during the week, what do we do at night during the week? And we're going to cover that so we can have sweet dreams, right?
That's right.
All right, Michael, great episode today. Until next time, sweet dreams.
How's your day going? Your day going pretty good? Day going pretty bad? I can tell you right now that I can mess up your day with just one thing, and that is by messing up your night's sleep. Well, what's the key to getting a good night's sleep? Well, it's a nightly ritual. I'm not going to just give you one nightly ritual. I'm going to give you two. I'm going to give you a Sunday night ritual. I'm also going to give you a nightly ritual. And in Sweet Dreams, I'm going to be teaching this 30 minutes an evening. Some people will call this a productivity class. Some people will call it a health class or a wellness class or a life skill class or a habits class or a rituals class. This combination of rituals changed my life. So we are doing a new improved Sweet Dreams Mastery class, and it will be taught in the evening, Sunday through Thursday, in quick, inspiring sessions. I hope you find it inspiring. By myself. Seats are limited, and you will now be able to unlock the power of amazing sleep, proactive planning, and healthy habits that will lead to more income, better relationships, and a happier life. Join us in Sweet Dreams. This is an intimate class setting, but I encourage you to go to 30evenings.com right now. That is 30evenings.com. Can you change your life in 30 evenings? Yes, you can.
Welcome back, everybody. It's another episode of the Referrals Podcast. I'm your co-host, Chris Angel, here with your host, Michael Maher. Michael, it is time for some sweet dreams, my friend.
Sweet dreams. I love it.
Are made of
I love it.
Yes. We should cue up some of your rhythmics right here and just play some.
Sweet dreams are made of these.
You got it. Yeah. So last episode, we were talking about sweet, which is the Sunday night ritual. And today we're talking about the weekly nightly rituals, like every night, what's the nightly ritual? So walk me through this.
Yeah, this will be the dreams segment. And, we talk about the morning ritual a lot, and I'm a big believer in the morning ritual. The morning ritual really starts the night before. Yep. It really starts the night before. If you get to bed at 2 a.m., it's going to be a rough day, right? It's going to be one of those where if you don't get a good night's sleep, then you're going to groggily go through your morning ritual, or you're going to sleep in and miss. And if you go to bed later, you're just likely to miss your morning ritual.
Right.
So,
right.
You talk about own your morning, own your day. Well, I truly believe that if you own your night, you'll own your life, right? So own your night. And so that's where we get into the dreams, which is a nightly ritual. So this is something we're going to do Sunday through Saturday nights. Yeah. Though we do slack off on Saturday nights, to be totally honest. But it's a ritual, and we know it's like a true north on your compass. We know we can turn back to it to get some certainty, to get some calmness, to get some, something that we have faith in. So dreams. So this is what we're going to do each and every night as a ritual. It is based on what do the most successful and happiest people in the world do. Mm-hmm. And so the D is a surprise to some people, but if anybody has kids or a mobile phone, this is important. And that is, D is for dim time, DIM time. So dim time is the time that we shut our computers down. We shut the TV down. We shut technology down, and we get into we even dim the lights, right? So we turn off the main lights, and we turn on some lamps, right? So the entire house is dimmer. And what this is starting to do is it is starting to calm the senses to the point where it's like the body is getting ready to rest, and it's getting ready for bed. And honestly, you don't have to do the dim time. Some people do a dim time at 8:30. Some people do a dim time at 10:30 or 11. It doesn't matter. And I'll tell you how we came up with 9:30 is I was going to do whatever they were going to do. right? I can adjust very easily. So I said, what time do you guys want to have our shut down everything time? And so Sherry said 9 o'clock, right? She's an early riser. She tends to like to go to bed early. And Max, being a, 8-year-old kid or 7-year-old kid at the time, he said 10 p.m., right? I want it because it gives him more computer time or more whatever time. And so I said, all right, how's 9:30, right? Let's do 9:30, right? Mom is happy, you're happy, and I was going to be happy no matter what. So dim time 9:30. So 9:30, we shut down, close off the phone, shut down the computer, and shut down the TVs, and we start to go through our sleeping process, right?
Got it.
So dim time, very easy. And what they've discovered about computers and especially phones is there's a blue light aspect to these that will actually make it more difficult for you to sleep. Yeah. So if we could put those away, 30 minutes to an hour or two before we're going to go to bed, then we're going to sleep better. We're going to be able to go to sleep better, right?
Yeah. Got it. So that's the D, dim.
That's the D, dim time. Yeah. And then the R, right? Yeah. And this one is read, right? Read. I encourage people. So in the morning ritual, we have savers with 2 A's, right? Which is silence, and then it's affirmations and appreciations, visualization, exercise, and then reading, and then scribing or journaling. Well, in the morning, we always suggest nonfiction. Right. Go with a nonfiction. Go with a business-minded book. It starts the wheels turning for you to come up with great money-making ideas. At night, doesn't have to be nonfiction. I do choose nonfiction, books quite a bit because I enjoy reading those. Yeah. But for those that love a good fiction, man, get into it. Right. Get into that dream world. Right. Why do we read fiction? Because it gives us the chance to live in another world for a while, right? And a dream world, which is what we're about to do. So, so fiction is great. Nonfiction is great. Whatever you want to do, just don't read it on a phone. Don't read it on an iPad. Don't read it on a computer. Read a real book, right? Read. Also, in the morning, we say with savers, you can combine the ER for exercise and reading to listen to audiobooks when you walk, right? Not at night, crack open a book, right? Crack open a real book and just get in there. And you're like, well, I'm not great at reading. Well, nobody's going to see you reading. Who cares? Right? I mean, it's like, just read. And you know how you get better at reading?
Read. By
reading. So how about you read to get better? And by the way, it's like reading is pretty central to success, right? Reading, people are like, what's the secret to success? I think reading is probably going to be really high on that level. Yeah. Right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Reading, writing, and arithmetic.
Question
in probably that order.
So on the reading, have you found, so there are certain books that when I read them, they're very how-to specific and it gets my brain going, but at night, you don't want to do it like that. It can still be a nonfiction if that's your preference, but it's
story. Go Giver, right? Raving Fans, Ken Blanchard series. Those are great books for the evening. Absolutely. 5 Dysfunctions of a Teen, right? All of that. It's kind of the story, right? So it needs to be a story. Good point.
All right. I like that. So that's read. So what's the E in dreams?
Yeah. E is once again, it's exercise, right? It's definitely not eating. Right. It's exercise. And when the nightly exercise is slightly different than the morning exercise. If you want to go to town in the morning and do your vigorous 1 hour crazy, Olympic lifts and go nuts in the morning, do not do that at the night. If there was something lower than low intensity, this would be it. So an example is just stretch, right? Do yoga. I do a little bit of yoga. Listen, I'm nowhere close to a yoga instructor, but I do like child's pose. I do downward dog. I do, I just do some really, and I have to tell you that I had back pain for a long time. And I know that incorporating these exercises into my nightly ritual has alleviated that lower back pain in a big way. So E is light exercise. Stretching. My son does push-ups and setups. I would suggest you don't go crazy with that. Just, 20 and do some crunches and be good. He'll probably be up to 100 by the end of the month.
Nice.
But it is one of those where it's, that's not crazy, super intense type of stuff. I don't know if I'd recommend it, but you know what? It's better than him doing nothing. So we're going to run with it.
Yep. I think too, with stretching, like the more you stretch it, as you go to sleep, your body just is able to relax a lot more. And so your sleep quality is better. We've talked about sleep quality.
That's it. That's right. Especially with the stretching, right?
Yeah.
And part of that I found really good is, something I learned from meditation is this tighten everything up and then loosen it up gradually, right? Tighten everything up and then loosen your fingers. Right. And then loosen your hands and then loosen your wrists and then loosen your arms, loosen your shoulders, loosen your neck. Right. And then start with your toes and loosen your feet, loosen your knees, loosen your hips, and boom, you're in a really good place. Right. So,
good.
and then the A, right. Yeah. So the A is for really, it started with appreciations. And the nightly appreciations, in my opinion, are even more important than the morning appreciations, though they could be debated for certain people. But what we tend to do, especially as entrepreneurs or a CMO or a CEO, I know we have lots of variety of people who listen to this, is one of those where you fail to celebrate your successes enough. Yeah. What we do a lot of times is we'll think about the problem client, right? We'll think about the challenges at work. And a lot of really successful people don't see things as success or as challenges or problems. They see them as opportunities, right? Sure. So, but even that is not enough. What we need to do at night, in my opinion, is celebrate the successes of the day, right? Like tell yourself something good. We start all of our meetings and like we had a family meeting a couple of days ago, and the first thing we started with, all right, everybody tell me something good. Like what's the highlight of the week so far? Same thing. What's the highlight of the day? And don't even be afraid to write that down. I strongly encourage you to get a blessings book and, have one for your nightly ritual, use the same one for your morning ritual, and it just becomes kind of your day book. And then your day unwinds between the nightly ritual and the morning ritual. And your morning ritual is going to have your appreciations with I appreciate whatever it is. I appreciate whatever it is. And your affirmations with I am committed to whatever it is or something better, right? With the nightly ritual, same thing, right? You're going to review your affirmations. Do you have to write them again? You don't have to, right? Sometimes I do. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I'll just read my affirmations from the morning, right? Yeah. And that's good. But then the appreciations, I encourage you to write down. I appreciate from today. I appreciate from today, right? What I appreciate from today is what I appreciate from today is, and you're going to have some crazy, awesome revelations with that. And it's amazing. If we just live the life of appreciation, it's amazing what that attracts, you know? So, appreciations are the A. Affirmations wasn't something that I did a lot of as part of my nightly ritual, but we've been teaching this for 5 or 6 years now. Actually 10 years now. Can you believe that? Wow. 10 years.
Wow. Yeah.
That's amazing. So 10 years now. And people have they'll read their affirmations again at night before they go to bed, right? Yeah. So that's fine. Affirmations and appreciations. If you want to make it 2 A's in dreams, then knock your socks off. I love it, and the more is better in this case. So, and nobody gets hurt. M has been the stretching has been really good. The dim time is really a nice catalyst,
right?
The meditation's probably made the biggest difference, right? And M is for meditation. Yeah. And what I do here is I've got my affirmations. It's so funny is how I do like affirmations and appreciations. Blessings book goes on the and then it's just like I set up and I just breathe. I just breathe. I'm not a master meditator yet. I'm in development. I cannot levitate yet. though I don't know if I ever will be. I have to tell you that sometimes you almost feel that way. But you do go into another one, but go into your meditation. And there are times when my wife is nudging me because during my meditation, I am asleep, right? I mean, that's how good meditation is it will put you to sleep. So just meditating and just really getting, breathing to your true center and letting it out. And if you want to do sound, you can, if you know, or om in and om out, right? Or breathe in and breathe out, whatever you want to utilize there. But I'm a believer in meditation. I lead a very driven, busy life. And there are times when there are several things scheduled almost, and the whole, I can meditate in traffic. I can meditate in 2 or 3 minutes before appointments.
Yeah.
Right. So I think that lowers my stress. I've never been measured, but I think it lowers my blood pressure. I think it lowers my stress level. I think it helps my heart be healthier.
Yeah.
It certainly clears my mind so that I can perform better when I'm in the next segment. Right. So I'm a big believer in meditation.
You can feel it, like when you go through that. You don't have to have a measured. You can actually feel it. Like, yeah,
isn't it funny? I keep doing this when I talk about meditation, and that it is a feeling that sweeps over you. Within meditation.
I think a lot of people also have thought about doing meditation, but because it's not a part of a ritual, like it just keeps getting pushed and the can gets kicked.
Yeah, where do you put it? Yeah, where do you put it? Right. And what you discover is put it in your rituals, and then it becomes part of your everything, right?
Yeah.
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
And then the S is sleep, right? Which makes sense. Just sleep. Go to sleep after you. Okay. Here's the beauty also of this ritual is you're meditating, and it was amazing how, in fact, this Referrals podcast is a seed that is germinated to a tree from nightly ritual meditation. So you're there, you're breathing, and these thoughts will come in and out of your head. And what's funny is sometimes they'll come from the future and sometimes they'll come from the past, which is interesting. My emotions right there. But it is one of those where it's like this thought that we've had in the past was having a podcast, right? And it, we thought about naming it the Michael J. Maher podcast, which is okay. We've got a following. It makes sense. But it's not all about me, right? In fact, it's about our listeners. It's about our podcasters. It's about the people who live this lifestyle. It's not about me. I didn't name it the Maher podcast for a reason.
Right.
And we talked about Gen podcast and how this is the generosity generation and this is a lifestyle and things like that. And it was just like, okay, that's kind of good. But here's the deal. Do people want the generosity generation? And it's kind of like, well, then you got to explain it. If you have to explain it, it's not a good title, right?
Yeah.
So it's just like, what do? We do referrals. We do referrals. I truly believe that our purpose in life is to be referable for something. Be referable. Be trustworthy. Be full of integrity. Be really good at something, and then speak with passion about whatever that is we're good at, right? So it's like, be referable. And why do we build a business? We build a business to build a referable business. Why else have a business if it's not going to be referable, right?
Right.
And if you want to, you talk about quality service. Okay, how many referrals are you getting? So it's one of those where it's like that. It's like referrals, right? What is our game?
Yeah.
Our game is the referral game. And what do? We help people win the referral game every day. Right. And by winning the referral game, they become more referable, which means they become better people. They become better at what they do. They become better communicators. So it's Referrals Podcast.
Got it.
So all from meditation. Well, you might think, well, meditation, sleep. Well, sometimes meditation leads to opening the blessings book and jotting down some ideas. Right.
Yep.
And then you put the blessings book back, you go into meditation, maybe a few more thoughts, or it's amazing how often it's like, okay, I write it down and I just lay down and go to sleep. Right. So that's dreams.
Yeah. Dreams.
Yeah, sweet dreams.
Sweet dreams. Sweet dreams
Yeah.
is what that is.
Go to sleep.
Sweet dreams are made of these, right?
These.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I know that there's another infographic for dreams. So we had an infographic last episode for the sweet.
Yeah, if they got the sweet one, they're going to want the dreams one. And here's the thing: if they're new to the show and they just heard the dreams, they're going to want to go back and get the sweet infographic, right? So you got the sweet dreams up on your at your home office or wherever you want to put it, and on your
love that it's possible that somebody could think, well, I mean, why would I go download something I can print out? But the reality is, when you have things posted around your house, it facilitates a conversation that just lives in the background of your life. And if you don't have that, it's very easy for your mind to just kind of go somewhere else. And so I think what's so brilliant about having these downloads and these infographics is that you guys are having the opportunity to keep this conversation alive inside your house.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. Master bedroom mirror, right? Great place to put them. Yeah. Master bedroom mirror. You've got them there. And even if you don't incorporate the sweet dreams immediately, it's there, right? And you know it's a good idea. Yeah. And all of a sudden you discover yourself like, hey, family, we should do a dim time, right? And here, how does that usually happen? Your kids are 11 and 14, and they're playing Fortnite until 1 o'clock in the morning on a school night, right? That's how your frustration goes through the roof, and you're like, it's time to do a freaking dim time, right? That's probably how that's going to work.
Yeah.
So
I found too, my kids are 13 and 12. So they're they're interested in this conversation when you frame it right.
Yes.
If you just go, hey, no, listen, you guys need to get off technology, then it feels like I'm like taking something away. But when I talk about like, hey, let's do something together, and you frame it right, then all of a sudden they're in. Yeah. Yeah.
So sometimes people ask, like, where do I start? Right. So with sweet dreams, start by lining up and what I mean by, maybe this is for you, but this is really for kids, right? And what's interesting is when you help your kid do it, amazingly that you start doing it.
Yep.
So is lay out your outfits for the week, right? So have the kid lay out their, just like, hey, let's look at the schedule. Let's look at what you got. You know, you got band that night, you got football, whatever. Let's lay out your outfits for the week, and then and let them take a proactive. Even if they throw a mismatched, awful, like, you know, we're talking camo pants with a bright pink shirt, right, or whatever it may be.
Right.
Let them do it.
Yeah.
Go for it, right? It's all good, right? And then for the dreams, my suggestion would be to start with a dim time, right? Come up with a family dim time. It doesn't have to be 9:30, right? It doesn't have to be, it can be 11, right? But having a standardized time is going to help the whole family, right? It's like back to What to Expect When You're Expecting, right? The book that everybody reads when they're about to have a baby and they're going nuts. One of the first things they suggest is get your baby on a feeding schedule and something you can live with. And it is amazing. The baby will conform 90% of the time. Well, what did Max do? Max conformed to the eating schedule. And we had a really happy baby, but more importantly, we had a really happy mom and dad, you know, because there was a structure and a schedule. Well, I truly believe all of us crave that, not just babies, not just moms and dads, but I think as humans, we want these milestones and these signposts to our day, right? And with that structure, it isn't being overstructured, right? There's a lot of free time, but it's taken 15 minutes to have a better life, right?
Yeah, so good. I love it. This is good stuff, Michael. This is how you know, winners are made right here. It's in the routine. Right. It's in the discipline of just setting your life up for success in the planning and the preparation. So